headphones in your ears. Thanks, you bleed. All right, now, test next week, birthday next week. All right, now, uh, did any of y'all get a little paper during first period about testing on Monday for English 1, English 2, or something? Okay. So if you did not get, if you don't know anything about what I'm talking about, if you don't know about nothing to do with testing on Monday for English, then what you do need to know is where are we going to have class? Because we're not going to have it here on Monday. It's going to be in the IFA building in 206 with like Sutherland's room. 206. Okay. ISA building, 206. Not M206. ISA. So, oh, you should go to your first period class. Or maybe after all these notes, come talk to me. I'll look you up. If you can hear me, though, of course. Let's... Oh, wow. Okay. Dang it. All right, I knew it. So, look, a pilot in a helicopter. So, draw yourself a little heli. All right. So, you draw a little helicopter. Yeah, it's pretty good helicopter, right? Thank you. And very okay, because I love it. Now, helicopter, and it says that there's a guy in here with big old eyeballs, so he's looking out, and he spots over here a helipad for his helicopter. Okay, now he's straight up and down, and then there's this. It makes a right triangle, vertically, horizontally. Okay, now it says that the angle of depression is 73. Now we learned this yesterday. Where is the, or who was not here yesterday? You're going to learn this real quick. Okay. Depression means down, elevation means up. Okay. So what you want to think about is looking straight horizontally. Okay. You start horizontally, elevation is a little up, depression is a little down. So if the angle of depression is 73, look right here. If depression is 73, am I going to put 73 for this piece or this piece? Or said again, is 73 going to go here or here? So who thinks it's going to be right here? Who thinks it's going to be right here inside the triangle? Okay, well, you need to have an opinion because you're going to have to label your own pictures. And the answer is you think about what's right next to the horizontal line. This is where the 73 goes, okay? 73 is a angle of depression. It has to be right next to the horizontal. The way people mess up is they put it inside the triangle, and then you have the wrong angle, so you'll get the wrong answer. Don't do that, okay? It also says the horizontal distance to the pad is 1200. Horizontal is not diagonal like this or vertical like this. It's left to right. Horizontal is 1200. Okay? So here's the deal. I got a right triangle, right? But notice, I don't know any angles in this right triangle besides the right angle. Okay? 73 is not inside. So let's see if we can not look at our phones. All right, now, we need to figure out this angle right here. If this is 73, how do I figure out this angle right here? So remember from yesterday, this is 90 degrees, and one piece is 73. So what do I do with 90 and 73 to figure out the missing piece? What do I do with 90 and 73? What mathematical operation do I do with 90 and 73 to figure out the missing piece? Not add or subtractoa. If you have the whole and you know a part, you subtract to get the other part. Okay, so 90 minus 73 is going to give you this little missing piece, which is 17. My guy, put 17 right here. What are we looking for? We got to put an X somewhere. And it says, what is the altitude? Now, we don't use that word every day, but do y'all know what altitude is? If you've never actually been mountain climbing, maybe you've seen it on TV, heard about it. Okay, if you can get into high altitudes, okay, sometimes the air is thinner, it's harder to breathe, but that's because you're further away from the earth, okay, because you're up in the air. Altitude is up, straight up and down. So if they ask what's the altitude, you got to put a little X right here. Cool? The very important part about yesterday's notes, which you can get in the blue bin here in a minute, is that you got to know the angle of depression is right below the horizontal, the angle of elevation is right above the horizontal. And now that it's labeled, you can put an arc here, label OHA. You'll notice H has nothing on it, so you can scratch it out. And then OA is tan. So you're going to put tan, the angle is 17, equals O over A. 1200 over X. And at this point, I really hope you can solve that. But we need to move on from the warm-up and get to the notes. So make sure your name's on your warm-up. I'm going to pass out these notes. They're going to be short and sweet. And then I'll pick up the warm-ups. Do it. Warm up, warm up, warm up, warm up. What? Who are you? Each 15 day is 20 points. I'll tell you it's a 40 right now. You can get them off Google Classroom. You need it. You took it. Oh, yeah. You got it? You gave it to me already? Oh, no. You? Mm-hmm. Right. Gilbert. All right. Note, we're going to make this short, sweet. Do y'all remember the last 2-3 days we've been doing trigonometry to find a missing side, right? Today we're doing inverse trig to find a missing angle. That's the big difference for today. One little tweak different, one little different thing, and it should be pretty straightforward. If you get trig, this will be one little nuance. No big deal. Okay, so look at my triangle over here. My triangle has no missing side, right? There's no X on the outside. X is actually on the inside. It's a missing angle. So as usual, we're going to put an arc. So go and put an arc at that missing angle X. Sometimes we call that theta. Now put an arc right here. I'm trying to help somebody. Wait, hold on. I didn't know if you're about to say hold on. Yeah, I'm trying to help somebody. Can't even go to class for me to help. All right, so from this arc, label OHA. So label OHA. Put a opposite on the opposite. Do this now. Across from the 90, you can put an H. And then the leftover is an A. OHA. Excuse me. You read it? Oh, you sure? I'm going to go look at it. All right. Now, out of OHA, which one can I get rid of? Which one has nada? Nada, limonada. H has nothing. Scratch it out. Now, how would we normally set this up? Make sure you're writing this down. No phone. Okay. If I only have OA, then I should know that SOHCAHTOA OA is tangent, right? Everyone with me? I need like uninterrupted time. Put that away, please. We'll be done in a minute. So tangent is O over A. So here's how you would normally set it up. Tan, and then what goes in the parentheses is usually the angle. But what's the angle? What do we start at? X. So you're still going to put it there, tan X. Okay, and that equals O over A. O is 5, A is 14, 5 over 14. Okay. I want you to see the difference on this one, that X is not on the top or the bottom of the fraction anymore. X is over here in the angle. So we gotta know how to get rid of we gotta know how to get X by itself, and we need to get rid of this. So to get X by itself, I need to get rid of tan. So here's my question. How do you get rid of tan? You stay out of the sun. That's how you get rid of tan. All right. Now, to get rid of a tan, you have to do inverse trigonometry, inverse trig. So the opposite of tan is tan inverse with a little -1. Okay? Tan inverse with a little -1. So let me show you I'm going to show you the long way to do this, and then I'll show you a shortcut. All right, ready? The opposite of tan. Now you're going to have to write a little further off to the left here. Go ahead and put tan inverse, which means tan little -1. And then you're going to put this whole tan x right here. I am taking the inverse trig of the left side of the equation. And then I'm going to do if I do it on one side, do it on the other side, the inverse trig of the right side of the equation. Okay, so what did I do? What? I put tan inverse of this equal tan inverse of this. It's on both sides. Now, why are we all writing this down at the same time? Why is that happening? Because when I have tan inverse and tan, those opposites cancel out. Isn't that normally what happens? You do an opposite, it cancels out. So I did the opposite of tan, so it would go bye-bye. So I'm going to scratch out tan inverse, scratch out tan, and now I just have x equals, which is what I wanted. And the end result is just tan inverse 5 over 14. So this kind of reminds me of all the stuff we've been doing, except we got to use a little -1 for inverse to find an angle, okay? Now, the question is how, oh, look at that. How do I get the answer? So check this out. Do y'all know how to type in tan inverse? Probably not, but guess where it's going to be? In the same spot you find trig. So like, you can do your little keyboard, you click on functions. Do you see that? Not the top row, but now the second row is where it says inverse trig functions. This is what you're going to click right here. So I'm going to click tan inverse, and then just type 5 divided by 14, and I get my answer, 19.654. And since we are talking about angles, you have to put degrees. You're talking about an angle, you measure angles in degrees. Cool? Now, it's really not that hard, I don't think, hopefully not, but what's this big ugly step is kind of annoying, so I'm going to say, you can do a shortcut. You can just cut to the chase if you want. So let's try that on the next one. So number 1 and number 2. Right now, put an arc at the x, the missing angle, and label OHA. Do it right now for number 1 and 2. Arc at x, opposite O, across from 90H, left over A. Arc at x, opposite O, across from 90H, left over A. Cross one out. Now, which one can I cross out on number 1? Oh, which one can I cross out on number 2? H. Now, we can't forget SOHCAHTOA. Okay, so on number 1, what 2 letters do I have? A and H. All right, so now that I have AH, we can't forget, I should say. So ka, AH is ka, C, right? So here's how I would write it: cosine, and then the angle is X equals A over H, 10 over 13. Now, instead of writing that big old middle step, here's a shortcut. Here's some shorthand you could do. Since all I want to do is get rid of the cosine and put it on the other side, I'm going to draw an arrow to the other side. But whenever you cross this equal sign, it's got to get a little -1. It's got to get a little inverse added to it when you cross that equal sign. So you can just cut it, paste it over here, but you got to put that inverse. So it's going to be X equals cosine inverse 10 over 13. Cosine inverse 10 over 13. Okay? So I go over here, functions, cosine inverse 10 over 13, and I get 39.715. Degrees. Okay, do the next one. Everybody, you have a pass. Where's this guy? All right, one. On number 2, OA is tan. And if you want to just cut to the chase, you know I have a missing angle, so I'm just going to put tan inverse of O over A. It's too easy. So you go over here to function, tan inverse. Bruh. You get 34.509 degrees. Okay. Do y'all get it? I got 1 yes, 2 yes. I knew it. We all knew it. We all knew it. All right, check it out. Now, after the he no, he just that. Who's that? Who is it? Who is it? Wait, is that yours? Oh. Yeah. Oh. Shark stealer. Oh. Abduction. Check it out. Now, what's weird about 3 and 4? Look at 3 and 4. What's weird about it? There's an X and a Y. But let me show you something. Okay, I'm going to just show you how to set up number 3. We're going to skip number 4. Okay, but I'm just going to show you how to set up number 3. Okay, ready? Okay, when you have X and Y, just pick one. So pick X, label O, H, A. H has nothing. So which one is OA? SOHCAHTOA is tan. So you can just do straight up tan inverse O over A. Right? Missing angle. That's how you do it. Inverse is for a missing angle. O over A. Now, when you want to find Y, though, you would have to relabel it. You'd have to like scratch out A, scratch out O, relabel O, H, A. And the two sides you have are OA, so it once again would be tan inverse O over A, 24 over 10. That would be angle Y. So you can take shortcuts. You can do it the long way. You can do it the medium way. You can do it any way. But you got to know missing angle is inverse trig. So make sure you work on that assignment and yesterday's assignment. Get them turned in. Here we go.